JF Stretford Paddock. This is a Leeds United Premier League preview. Joining me intermittently.
Have you been going up with that one for a while? Intermittently.
Don't even know if that makes sense.
It might be,
is Alex Baggers. How we doing, brother?
Apart from a bit of toothache, which I have moaned about all week.
You are a poor little soldier today, aren't you?
I'm just breaking, to be honest. I've got a bad back. That's happening. It's just not going well. But got football coming back.
Football's back.
It feels like an age since we played a game of football and got to talk about people kicking the ball towards the net and not talking about owners and all that stuff,
Leagues.
Which we do need to keep talking about, and we will keep talking about.
Of course.
But there is a game of football that we want to talk about.
Yes, there is, against the old enemy as well, against Leeds United, as you mentioned there. We have been talking about lots of other things as we need to and we should do. But this is one of those games where I've been looking forward to these games because we didn't play them for years in the Premier League, but now we're playing them. And we go into this game in a good bit of form, don't we, brother? I think we've got a graphic there. I can show you the last 5 games of Manchester United. Last week we played Burnley, obviously got that 3-1 win. Before that was the game of the Europa. You've also got the game against Spurs, the game of the Europa, and that win over Brighton as well. So it has been a positive run of results for Manchester United.
Yeah, five wins on the spin, so it's been going well. Obviously, the Spurs result was the highlight of all that when we played some really good football. Brighton wasn't the best, and Burnley as well. We struggled a little bit, but we have done. We mentioned that on the preview. We have struggled against Burnley for a long time now. So getting that win was really good. And we've played. It's good to see Mason Greenwood back scoring goals as well. Getting those goals. Is that 3 of the last 4 games or 4 of the last 5?
Do you know what? It's funny you should mention this, Alex Bagley, because we've got a graphic about Mason Greenwood and his recent run of form. If we can put that on the screen, there you can go. You see, he scored 4, count them, 4 in his last 3 league appearances, including 2 goals and a man of the match against Burnley. Mighty Burnley.
So yeah, good to see Mason back playing well, especially with Anthony Martial. Not had the best seasons, but he seems to be out for the rest of the season. Marcus Rashford struggling for fitness as well.
I thought he played well against Burnley as well. He was very skillful, wasn't he?
He really
Marcus
did. But we need 4 people scoring goals. That's why towards the end of last season we did so well. Mason kind of stepped up, Martial stepped up, Rashford stepped up. Cavani seems to have got back amongst the goals. Mason getting back amongst the goal. Look, I said the title's probably definitely gone now, isn't it? I think the midweek.
Thank you to Matty Cash, by the way, costing us the Premier League title.
Cash ruining football. That's what it all is.
Hey, nicely done.
Yeah. So that happened in midweek. Kind of any glimmer of hope, I think, got ended in the midweek, but still want to finish second. Still want a strong end to the season. And if we're going to win Europa League, we need to score. We'll need to get big goals in these games. I think if Mason Greenwood's firing, he can definitely do that for us. Yeah,
100%. Like you say, he has been in a good bit of form. He's sort of bounced back from his early season travails. I mean, you're never overly worried because he's an absolute phenomenal talent, but he did have a sort of patchy start to the season. He was going through a lot. I think we did a couple of posts about the fact that he'd lost his friend. His friend died, and he liked those posts, so he's obviously acknowledging that was the case. And you'd expect any youngster to sort of, have to need a bit of time to cope with a loss like that, and he obviously needed it. I didn't like the way Gareth Southgate handled him with the England camp. He made a mistake. I thought Gareth Southgate handled it really badly. It should have been a case of, you made a mistake, you learn from it, and he threw him under the bus twice. But he's bounced back from all that, and he's playing as well as I've seen him playing in a Manchester United shirt. Not just his goals, but his performances as well. You say about the man of the match there. I thought he's been fantastic over the last 2 months or so. 6 weeks, 2 months. I think he's really stepped up in a position as well. Let's not forget this. He's not a right winger, and he's playing out of position in the right wing position. So you've got to give him credit for all those things. The way he's been able to bounce back, the fact he's playing out of position, the fact that his performances haven't dropped, and also now he's getting amongst the goals as he was at the end of last season. So long may it continue. Another player that likes goals, especially against Leeds United.
Likes goals.
He likes goals. He likes scoring them.
He does.
He loves him against Leeds.
Is that Scotty McTominay?
He's Scotty McTominay, mate. Hey, tell you what, he doesn't take his time either, does he?
He doesn't.
Hey, look at that. See it there.
Twice in 3 minutes.
I mean, a 3-minute brace against Leeds.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. What did you make of that performance by Scott against Leeds? And also, what have you made of his performances this season, his season so far?
I think Scott McTominay is an odd one in terms of, I think that people expect him to do what Nemanja Matic did and to expect him to kind of sit there and kind of defend. And I don't think that's what Scott McTominay's best at. I think is the energy he brings into the team is very good. I think he's more of an 8 than he is a 6. I think he plays well in that pair alongside someone like a Nemanja Matic, like a Fred, but not. I think he needs Fred and Fred needs McTominay. That's the kind of thing at the minute. If you could get someone better in alongside him, I think that he could definitely challenge and be a starter for Man United regularly. You've looked at Fergie made some comments last night speaking about I think the Scottish bid for Euro 2020 to get some games and stuff, and he spoke about Scott McTominay, and he spoke about comparing him to Darren Fletcher and how good Darren Fletcher was. He said, look, he maybe wasn't the most talented player in our squad, but he never missed a big game for us, and he used to always play against Arsenal, especially at that time, which was the big game. You look at it now, Scott McTominay starts near enough every big game for us. The Leeds game as well, where I think there was some doubt about why is McTominay and Fred playing, why isn't it Donny van der Beek, why isn't it Paul Pogba? To do that in the first few minutes just showed the quality of him, and I think against a team like Leeds, where you need to go man for man, you need a lot of fitness, you need a lot of energy, you need to press them. Scott McTominay is the perfect player to do that.
He certainly is, and he's certainly impressed against them the last time out. With all that in mind, who have you gone? Are you doing a predicted 11, or are you doing who you want to see 11? Preferred or predicted?
Somewhere in the middle, I think, to be honest.
You know what, you and Joe Smith, you fucking paired together.
It's something
we had this,
in the middle.
Right, it was a predicted 11. That was it. And then it's like, oh, actually, I'm going to do my preferred 11. All right, then, do you prefer? Actually, I'm going to do a mixture. What's that fucking mean? What's that even mean?
I don't even know what it means, to be honest. Because I was picking the team going, I did one, and I went, I don't like that. I'm not having that one. But I think it might be where we go. But this is what we've ended up with. So Dean Henderson in goal. Back 5 picks itself. Predicted one, whatever it is, you want that back 5. Dean Henderson in goal. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Victor Lindelof, Harry Maguire, and Luke Shaw. This is where I got a bit confused with it all, because I wanted the front 3. I wanted Dan James to play because I think he played well against Leeds last time.
Right.
I think the pressing he does, I think will be good, and I think just his work rate either way. But I think that means that I don't want Freddie McTominay, because I think Paul Pogba's got to the point where you can't not have him in the team at the minute.
God, no.
So I've got him in there. Marcus Rashford starting there. The only change that potentially might happen, I think, to that team would be if Marcus Rashford isn't fit, Paul Pogba moves further forward, and Fred fills that role. But look, I think Dan James, should start. I think Mason Greenwood's played well. I think play him through the middle. I don't think it's a game for Edison Cavani. I don't think that he brings the right things for us. I think Mason Greenwood is more suited to play against Leeds. But yeah, like I said, this is kind of an in-between. I think Fred might feature, but I just didn't quite know where it was going to be. But I think Dan James will feature as well. So that's what I've gone for.
It is good, isn't it, when you look at that, to just see a back 5 that you pretty much know now. I mean, I know that you can argue Henderson swaps with De Gea, but I think in most league games now it's Henderson.
Did you say Ella Henderson then?
No, I think Henderson. Ella Henderson. I don't. You know what? I'd like to do a reference. I don't even know what song she sings. What is it? What's the song? Ghost.
Ghost. There you go.
That's it. Yeah, ghosting through the defence there. I think it's always going to be Lindelof and Maguire. Eric Bailly is either injured or he's got COVID, or he seems to be in danger of becoming the forgotten man, especially the fact that he's not signing a new deal. From what we hear, I do like Eric Bailly, but I don't think he's gonna. I'd be surprised if he starts in the league anytime soon. Luke Shaw, enough said. Aaron Wan-Bissaka as well. So that back 5 seems pretty solid, and I understand it completely where you're coming from with the McTominay or Fred sort of scenario. The only sort of slight surprise, I think, intrigue there is with Dan James on the right hand side, because is it going to be Mason and Cavani? Is it going to be Dan James, or will he play? He plays Marcus out of position sometimes, which I'm not a fan of. So I prefer to see Dan James there than Marcus Rashford playing out of position. But only time will tell on that one. If you go over to my 11, it's not that different. You can see I've gone with Edinson Cavani up top. I've dropped Dan James, and I brought Mason Greenwood on the right hand side. I think that's it actually. So very similar. I understand what you mean. Mine is my predicted 11, who I think will get picked. I get where you're coming from with Paul Pogba. He has to play for me. Now, Ollie does like Fred, and I was a bit in two minds. I thought maybe there's a scenario where Mason gets dropped, Pogba goes on the left, Rashford goes on the right, and Fred comes in, as you were saying earlier. I'm just going to edge towards playing Cavani and Mason Greenwood in that team, and I think the best way for that to happen is Mason on the right, Cavani up top, because I think Cavani has been playing well of late, and I think you need to almost give him a lot of games now. Keep him going, keep that momentum going. I know he's 34, but he's very fit.
Yeah.
And I think he's missed that many games as well. You just want to get him back into it and get him back into it regularly. So I've gone with him to start. But we've got, Roma game coming up Thursday. If he doesn't start, it only keeps him fresher for that. It's not sort of too controversial if Ollie was to mix it up a little bit and maybe play Mason up top with Edinson Cavani. Dropping down to the bench, but both strong teams there. Looking at Leeds, dirty Leeds as we used to call them. If you follow Leeds United, then you must be for scum. That's what we used to sing. Not that I'm saying that's the case. I'm just saying what we used to sing.
Yep.
You can see there the last 5 results.
Mixed bag.
Yeah, I mean, there's some
big results.
Result against City with 10 men. You don't get much bigger than that.
No.
Sheffield United, Yorkshire derby in that one. Fulham more or less relegating them. Draw at Stamford Bridge, which again is a decent result considering the form of Chelsea under Tommy Tuchel, and then a draw with the Scousers, which ironically is probably the most disappointing result there, isn't it? Because it's like Liverpool are pretty much there to be taken nowadays.
They are, yeah, and I think that game was the Monday night game, the first game after everything got. Football didn't quite seem real or important or something. It just wasn't happening, and that was, a good result for them. Bad result for Liverpool, obviously, again. Then beating Man City was huge. That gave us that little glimmer of hope before this midweek.
It's the hope that kills you, isn't it, Baggies?
Yeah. But it's been Leeds is a weird. They've been a very
village.
Yeah, definitely. The Leeds as a team, though, bit odd how they've done this season. They've had some really good performances. They've been battered a couple of times. Well, obviously by us, the 6-2 performance. So it's a bit of an odd one to go into this because they have had some really good performances. They've scored a lot of goals at times. Again, the weird thing about Bielsa and stuff, everyone go, "Oh, it's amazing what the football." He's still 10th. Like they're not that good. Like it's. If they'd have been 5th or something, you go, "Wow, he's done really well."
Yeah.
But they're still 10th. They're still behind Arsenal, and they're really shit. So like.
He's probably going to finish like lower than Sheffield United did last season.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That was impressive.
Yeah. I know Wilder got praised, but like, it was so unexpected. With this, he is like the coach's favourite, and Alson loves him, for example, and Pep Guardiola's always raves about him. But, that's a good result, a very good result at the Etihad. But a lot of the results he's had this season are they're not that surprising in terms of he's done well because let's not kid ourselves. Keeping a team in the Premier League when you just got promoted isn't easy. No. You can see it there, Fulham and I think West Brom as well, struggling. So I get that, but sometimes the whole Bielsa ball, absolute adulation, drives me a little bit crazy. Maybe I'm just being bitter because he's a Leeds manager.
No, the big thing was like getting praised after getting beat 6-2 was the mad thing. It wasn't like getting when they win. Oh, it was a great performance, but they lost Liverpool on the opening day of the season. And he's like, oh, how good was that? Like, what?
Yeah.
They've shown themselves. They've shown that they can lose games. Yeah, great. That's
I know.
At the end of the day. It's great to see this high pressing and some of the stuff, but you have to win football matches. I think Sheffield United doing what they did last season was just as impressive. What Leeds are doing now. So, saying all this ahead of the game. Dead confident and stuff, but it's.
If you have a look at the last 5 meetings between the two teams, because we have to stretch it out a little bit here, because obviously Manchester United and Leeds were in different divisions. There you can see we've even put the year underneath the scores for you, just so you can go. One of them goes back to 2003, I think.
Yeah.
Which says it all really. Is it the 3-0 winner was in the Carling Cup? That's when I went to the Elland Road and had some lovely encounter with Leeds fans who spat at me and racially abused me.
Nice.
Yeah, salt of the earth, Leeds fans. Yeah. Hey, so such a warm reception. I can't wait to go back. It's a shame fans aren't in the ground, as I'd be there. There's the 1-0 loss in the, I think it was in the FA Cup, but then obviously it's pretty irrelevant what went on in the
2004.
I know. That's going to help when we do our analysis then, how we got on 17 years ago. But obviously the one that matters is the 6-2 win. Do you expect Leeds to come at us like that again and go, right, let's just fucking go for it?
I think they have to. I think all this stuff gone in the last few weeks, everyone's probably going to be a little bit dazed, especially Man United players. I think that they're not going to be... the way we came out against Leeds last time was almost a bit of a shock, but almost that's how you've got to beat Leeds, is kind of do it to their own game, press them high, force them into mistakes, and we have better quality than Leeds United, so you have to step up and do that. It's going to be difficult, though, with everything that's gone on this week. to maybe bring some of the players up to that level. I think there's been so much going on. To come out flying that United, I think, need to do will be difficult. Whether Leeds can do the same, they probably got, they played already this week. They played on Monday. They've kind of got used to it a little bit. They've got used to everything that's gone on. And it seems to have calmed down a bit. Maybe they're a little bit better prepared for it just after playing, after this announcement and all this kind of stuff. I'm not too sure, but it's just... No, I think if this had been a normal week, if we'd have gone straight from last Sunday straight into there with nothing happening, I'd have gone, yeah, I feel confident that we're going to come out flying and not be troubled by Leeds and be able to score a couple of quick goals again and maybe catch them out on the counter and stuff. But my worry is that with everything that's gone on, maybe there's a bit of a backlash. Maybe there's a bit of a slow start. So that is my only worry going into the weekend. One
compliment I will give Leeds is their striker, Patrick Bamford, gave one of the best interviews I've ever seen. I'm not exaggerating. It was a fantastic interview after the Liverpool game where he spoke out about the Super League idea and the fact, he said some things like, people are in uproar when it comes to money, where we don't see this energy towards racism and things like that, which I thought was a fantastic comment. And he made the point about football is nothing without the fans, and people need to remember that. He's been doing the business, hasn't he? On the pitch, never mind off it. You can see there, 13 goals, 7 assists in 32 games. I mean, he's massively overachieved from what people expected, hasn't he, really? Because you might look and go, 13 goals, okay, that's good. He's not unbelievable, but he's like in the form of his life, isn't he? No one really saw this one coming. I certainly didn't. I know he did well in the Championship, but I didn't think he was a Premier League player, to be honest with you, and he's showed me to be wrong.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one with Bamford because I still think Leeds fans still give him a bit of stick because he does... I think he misses a lot of chances, and I think that this Leeds team does create a lot of chances, and I think that Patrick Bamford is a good striker. He's obviously shown that. To score 13 goals, you have to have a little bit about you. You can't be... It doesn't matter how many chances you get. 13 goals in the Premier League is a good achievement. Whether that would translate if he went to another team is yet to be seen. But look, he's done well this season, scoring 13 goals, maybe pushing for an England call up a little bit, last minute kind of thing, depending on injuries and stuff. It's more of managing Leeds as a whole, though, I think, is the problem. But like you said, by mentioning Bamford from Monday night, he was fantastic.
Sensational, wasn't it?
The way he spoke and just by... Because he was pretty much the first one out after the game.
Yeah, he was like, steam was still coming off his head from the game.
Yeah.
He was like... knackered, and then he went, right, what tells us about this Super League? And obviously, I think at the time it was still a thing. It's easy to talk about it now, but he was like, I just thought the way he spoke about it, the way he carried himself, he just came across as
spot on.
I just thought he's too nice a man to be playing for Leeds United. That's what I thought. Right. With all that being said, give us your score prediction, mate.
2-1 United. That's all I'm going for. I don't think... I'd like to see more goals, and it wouldn't surprise me if it's something mad, like a 4-3, another 6 goals or something, whatever it is. It wouldn't surprise me, but like I said, I think just a little bit of hangover from this week of everything that's gone on. I think it's going to be a 2-1. I'm hoping Mason continues scoring some goals. That's the other hope, is that he keeps doing that, keeps that form going, and 2-1 United.
You're going 2-1 United. I'm going to go 5-1 United.
Wow.
Another 4-goal cushion, but I'll go with 5-1. It probably won't be. Probably fucking 0-0 or something. But I'll go 5-1. Baggers, thanks for that. Where can people find you?
Baggers_Alex. And we just posted on TikTok, because I like to bring that up.
You likes
some
TikTok,
Andy Tate
little teenage girl
from back in the day. Andy Tate vines. Have a watch some of them, because some of them are quality. They are quality. Jam.
Yeah, to be fair, they are hilarious.
So have a watch them.
Go and have a look at them. So make sure you check it out, Baggers on the socials. Go and check out them Andy Tate TikToks. Make sure as well that you subscribe to the channel. We'll be posted all over the weekend. We'll be keeping you up to date with the latest news when it comes to the developments with the movement against the Glazers, the protests and stuff like that. We'll have all that covered, and we will have the watch along here as well for Sunday. So you'll have, I think it's Howson, and I think Joe McGrath's coming down there as well. So you'll be doing pre-match stuff as well. So make sure you stay tuned for that. That's been Alex Baggers. I've been Jay Motti. This has been the Leeds United preview. Thanks for watching.